morning, Charge.
Hey, Flash.
Hey, so today is, I think it's Wednesday.
Yes, Wednesday.
And
29.
we're here. And you got a chance to get on the ice yesterday. How are you finding it all? I mean, how did that feel?
I'm speechless.
Yeah.
We are in Antarctica, and we went on an expedition yesterday, Zodiacs, from the boat. Landed on this island. So close to the wildlife. Two types of penguins. We had the sea lions, naughty bird, and it was cold.
It was very cold, wasn't it?
It was so cold. And come back on board, had the food here on this boat is stunning. A lovely meal last night. Last night we actually cooked on a hot stone that they put in the oven for I think 24 hours. And I shared a eye fillet with a guy I've met, and I cooked a tuna, so we chopped in half, swapped over, so we had a surf and turf, which was good. And I'm just looking at our room out the window, and there's all these icebergs floating past, and I think I can see about 40, maybe 50, just from our window, looking in one direction. And some of them are really, really white. Other ones are pastel blue.
Yeah.
And you say, why? There's one freshwater and there's one seawater. Don't know.
Maybe some's pack ice and some's glacial ice.
Yeah, we'll have to go find that.
We will.
Yeah.
Now, what have you got? We've got planned today.
We're moving again, so we're going further and deeper into the pack ice. I don't know whether it's the right expression saying deeper into Antarctica, but probably is. Not doing much this morning, but this afternoon we could actually go out and do some more activities. We might be on a kayak. We'll definitely be on a Zodiac. This is just so awesome. It's just awesome. Yay!
Good. So our first expedition today, we jumped into the Zodiac and just drove around Foyne Harbour. We looked at icebergs, we looked at birds, we discussed ice, we talked about the history of Antarctica, and just talked about all things Antarctic. Diego is the expedition director, and we were lucky enough to have him guiding us this morning. So it was a really interesting and a really informative expedition.
The old ice, but you still can see some air bubbles inside. Of course, it's freshwater.
Wednesday afternoon, it's about 1:15. We had a great expedition this morning when we got driven around the icebergs and some of the bays in the Zodiac by Diego, who is our expedition leader, who was really knowledgeable, pointed out a whole bunch of really neat birds. We saw amazing ice formations, a shipwreck. It was really good. This afternoon, we are actually going on an expedition where we stand on the Antarctic Peninsula or the Antarctic continent for the first time. So that's really exciting. It is snowing quite enthusiastically out there, but there's no wind, So hopefully it won't be too cold. And in the middle of lunch, it was funny, there was this big ooh, and everyone ran to the windows. And of course, it was another humpback whale going past. So we watched the whale for a while. So that's 2 whales. Oh, there's an announcement.
A very good afternoon to all.
So this is the snow that's freezing on top of the sea. And I've just been informed it's called grease ice. Hopefully it's not going to all freeze us into Antarctica. I don't think so. But it's very, very, very pretty. So Anne and Joe and I are in the boat waiting for the others. There's snow falling. And who's our lead? And your name is? Tamsin.
Nice
So
to meet you.
Tam's going to be guiding us today. It is on the Antarctic continent.
And there we are, we have Flash, and she's on the continent too. Woohoo!
So, marching through this wintry wonderland it's spectacular. It's kind of otherworldly. I feel like I'm on a movie set, and all around me are icebergs and fluffy sand, and the snow's falling softly. It's truly beautiful. It's interesting to look at the size of the boat and the size of that iceberg. Some of these icebergs are big, some are small, but it's beautiful. Sculptural even.
Here comes Flash. So we're actually on the continent, and there's no one around. Look at this. This is amazing.
So how about that? I'm on the Antarctic continent. I don't know how many continents I've visited, but this is certainly the whitest and the furthest, and super snowy. Everything's soft. The snow is pristine, and it's wonderful to be here. So this is the second of 2 expeditions today, and after this we'll be heading back to the ship. We won't even need a hot drink. I mean, it's not even particularly cold, and they'll feed us again. Oh my stars, so much food. And I think there's a lecture this evening again on photography, which I'm looking forward to hearing about, because I'd like to learn more about photography. It really interests me. And there's also another lecture on something else. So lots of learning, lots of amazing experiences. And we're meeting a whole bunch of really wonderful people.
What are you doing down there, Flash?
Well, I did a bit of a flop. And I'm going to do an angel, but then I got bombarded by a stray snowball. So wow. So we've got humpback whales all around the boat. There's some over there, and if I circle over here, we have got some guys down here. I'm just waiting for them to... Yeah. I was just saying to Joe, there's a iceberg with a whole bunch of little birds sitting on top of it, but they can't be penguins. Sure enough, look like Gentoo penguins catching a lift on an iceberg, floating on by. It's 10:30 at night. Bright as anything. I don't think it's even going to get dark tonight. But those penguins, they're just hanging out, hitching a ride. "7:45 a.m. on Thursday the 30th of November, and there's a rather spectacular island behind me called Kiwis Island, and that's our expedition for today. We've got 2 expeditions today. One is a landing and exploration on this beautiful island behind us, and then this afternoon we are going to visit an Argentinian station, a research station that's currently uninhabited. They don't come till January, so we're going to go there and walk up to a really large Gentoo penguin colony, and then we are going to go on a Zodiac cruise and do a bit of a tiki tour around the area. So 2 really exciting expeditions today. Yesterday was a day of whales. We saw so many whales. In fact, I was just going to sleep, I wasn't quite going to sleep last night. I've been spending hours with my face pressed against the sliding glass windows outside our cabin. But there was one of the staff was standing right on the edge of our balcony, and when he saw me, he pointed, and I came out and I realized that there were a whole bunch of whales just beneath the railing and swimming along beside the ship. So that was really exciting. So, wow, talk about whales and icebergs, and it's absolutely delivering. It's about 2 degrees Celsius. The sky looks like it could be clearing, and you know, it's just going to be a beautiful day. They're all beautiful days, but what we have in front of us is incredibly spectacular. So this is the island that we're going to, and in fact there's patches of dark all over the place, and as you zoom in and get closer and closer, it's obvious that all those patches are rookeries of Gentoo penguins. We've seen so many of them. Where are they? There's the kayakers down there. We're going to kayak, I think, on Saturday, but kayakers and penguins and literally enormous floating icebergs. That's a small one, but there are some huge ones around. So we're just waiting to get onto the island. Penguins have the right of way, so they're just marching up their highway, and we're stuck until they've got where they want to get. There's a highway of people in blue jackets, and there's a highway of penguins. This is the biggest Gentoo penguin colony, and blimey, they're everywhere. It's a beautiful day, so we can certainly see them, and my stars, we can certainly smell them. had an amazing morning on the island looking at the penguins. The penguins are incredible. They're also everywhere. And penguins always come first. So right away to the penguins, no matter where we are or what we're doing. These, I know, they are hilarious. It's just, there's something really funny about a penguin. We are heading back to the boat. The weather looks like it might turn, but we're warm and toasty. The wind's pushing the ice cubes, or the ice blocks, the icebergs towards us, and yeah, we're bouncing through them. Cheese! So Thomas has been kind enough as to let us put a bottle of champagne rare on an iceberg, so we can take a photo of it to send back to Joe's supplier. I'm not going to stand up. In to Benoit in France, and boom, fantastic! Thank you so much. Looking at the glacier over here, and I'm zooming in a little bit because you can see as summer comes along, it's starting to crack. We just watched a chunk, it was a kind of a thundering sound, and a crack, and a large chunk just fell off that glacier and fell into the sea. So obviously that's where icebergs are born. But I think in a few weeks' time there'll be a lot less snow and a lot less ice here. But it's very much a wintry wonderland right now.
Look at that, what we're cruising past.
So right now, we're leaving Paradise Bay. We were going to spend the night here and people were going to camp on the snow, but in fact the weather's changed a bit. We've got a little bit of sleet, a little bit of snow, and they were concerned about the people who are open air camping getting cold and wet. So what we're doing is, it looks like we're motoring reasonably slowly. We're going 8.5 knots. We're motoring somewhere else, and tomorrow, oh, we've got lots of cool things happening tomorrow. We're going to a couple of cool stations. We're going to a post office, and we're actually going to do the polar plunge, which involves diving into Antarctic water. Oh, okay. I'm going to do it, but I can't say that I'm feeling enormously excited about it.